All of Sudzha, despite Ukrainian proclamations otherwise, is now firmly under Russian control, recaptured the entire city as well as surrounding settlements. We're in Pятёрочка, which is beyond Суджа. This is the infamous supermarket, Пятёрочка, which has been marked by almost every Ukrainian unit that comes this way. And the reason is that this is one of the first big buildings that they see having crossed the border from Ukraine and driving into Sudzha. The entire city is past us down this road. Over there, 7 kilometers from us, is the Ukrainian border. But this again is an infamous supermarket. It was a symbol of Ukraine's incursion into the Kursk. Ukraine's incursion into the Kursk region. The reason we can't dally outside is that there are so many drones flying overhead, Russian and Ukrainian. From the other side, the Ukrainians are desperate to stall Russia's advance towards the border, but just over 24 hours ago, there were still Ukrainian troops where I am standing. This store became an unofficial monument to Ukrainian fighters who headed to Russia's Kursk region for their incursion. For many of them, this was the last place that they would sign. 67,000 casualties suffered by Ukraine over 8 months in their misadventure in the Kursk region. This sector of the city, the northern parts of Sudzha, as well as outlying settlements such as Pятёрочка, where we are now on the highway to Ukraine, were all seized by a very small-sized force, a force made up of the group veterans, the same group that masterminded the great, as it has become known, the Great Pipe operation. They thought up the idea to use the pipe to get behind Ukrainian lines, something that was completely unexpected and something that led to a complete collapse of Ukrainian organization, morale, and fighting potential. Many elite units, such as the 80th Aeromobile Assault Brigade of Ukraine, chose not to remain behind and fight, but abandoned prepared defensive positions in order to escape from here and get back to Ukraine. Ukraine's claims that it hasn't abandoned Sudzha, that its forces are still inside, is false, and the proof is that we are standing here, right on the westernmost outskirts of the city. This operation has proved to be, this incursion for Ukraine has proved to be an absolute disaster, especially for Zelensky, who vowed to use that territory which they seized in Russia's Kursk region as a chip at the negotiations table to trade away and gain back more what he called Ukrainian lands. That operation has failed completely and utterly, with a huge cost for Ukraine in terms of manpower. Again, 67,000 troops, vehicles, war material, 7,000 tanks, armored personnel carriers, armored cars, infantry fighting vehicles, and jeeps. But more than that, there's a problem that Russian forces face here, and it is that they have advanced too fast. Many Ukrainian troops, demoralized, lost, remain now in the Russian rear, far from the front lines, trying to hide, some of them surrendering, others trying to figure out a way to cross through Russian lines and get back to Ukraine. Every hour, more are caught and sometimes killed. Nevertheless, this marks the end of the Battle of Sudzha, and it is very likely that Russian troops en masse will soon cross into Ukraine, perhaps to establish a buffer zone.